welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio.
Good morning and welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And I am happy to join you on this first Marketing Pulpit Show of 2026. Wow. If you're under the sound of my voice, that means you made it. We're into 2026 today and glad to be here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I help companies in the business space. So if you're trying to start a business or promote a business or have a nonprofit or some organization you're trying to get off the ground or optimize, then this is a good resource to tune in every Friday at 10:30 a.m. And we're going on 16 years on the air this year. And I'm just glad to be here another year. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And we have an interesting show on this first Marketing Pulpit Show of the year. We're going to talk about how branding, what are some signs that it's time for you to rebrand? And if you don't understand the importance of branding, then you definitely need to tune in because we're going to discover that in this age of AI, artificial intelligence, your brand could be your salvation, could be the only thing that keeps you afloat when everything else is so easy to accomplish and you don't know real from fake. So we're going to talk about branding and its importance and why it's so important to have that brand rebranded going forward into 2026. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a couple items in the news. This is the first show of the year. We're in 2026. A lot of people are taking off today. This is actually it's the Friday after the New Year, and some people have been off since a couple of Wednesdays ago, the beginning of the holiday season. So I look a little casual today. Hey, I might keep this look going into 2026. What are you talking about? Rebranding? Hey, you might need to loosen up a little bit to go with the new brand. We're going to be doing some rebranding in 2026 as well. We're going to be getting a little more heavily into AI. And so we are a tech company as well as marketing. We are Gatewood Marketing and Web, digital marketing. So we're going to be sticking our toe in that water more frequently in 2026. So we will be rebranding as well. Let's hold on a second here. Hang on one second. We're going to get this show on the road. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. Let's talk about January. This is the month of January, of course, the first month of the year. Some things we might want to do in this new year is to people setting goals and resolutions, and whether you call it a resolution or a goal, it's a good idea to have some vision of where you're trying to go this year. I know sometimes we came out of 2025 with a few knots on our heads like we've been in a fight, but you got to shake it off and stand up and point yourself in the right direction for this year. Just thinking about it is not good enough. You have to actually put it in tangible form. Many people do vision boards this time of year. Some do marketing strategies, business plans, SWOT analyses. But the concept is that put yourself some type of plan in place on what you plan to accomplish in 2026 and how you plan to get there. Now, one way to do that we're going to talk about today is you have to look at your brand. This is a good time, an optimum time to look at your brand. Your brand is who you are. It's what separates you from the pack. It's your culture, it's your way of doing things. It's your purpose, your why you're doing it, and how you plan to set yourself apart from the pack. So sometimes we take that for granted. We figure since we branded when we first started, had yourself a nice graphic designer, did your nice logo, and put some nice signs on your truck, nice little patch on your shirt, and you figure you branded for life. Well, if things didn't change, if the environment never changed, then maybe you were right. But occasionally you have to rebrand. Let me tell you some reasons why. And this is for you business owners out here. First of all, sometimes your brand just looks dated. It just looks old. It's plain and simple. People are tired of looking at it. It makes you look like you're from the decade or two before. Your website is old, your logo is old, your literature is old. Sometimes you have to rebrand just because everything you have looks like it's from a bygone era. So you have to sometimes rebrand just for that reason alone. It just looks like you're not up to date. Another thing you want to consider is sometimes your brand or your business has outgrown its original mission. You may have started out being, hey, look, we're going to focus on customer service and we're going to give you that personal touch. We always answer the phone on the first ring. Well, you grew. Things got busy. You had a good run. You can't answer that phone on the first ring every time now. So you may have to go back and have a brand that's more cutting edge and more volume based versus custom or boutique based. So you may have outgrown your original mission. And if that's the case, you may need to rebrand. Another sign that it may be time to rebrand is when you start attracting the wrong type of customers. Now, sometimes that just happens naturally. Like once again, you've grown, you don't have that hands-on approach like you used to, but the people that are calling you now expect something that you're not able or willing to deliver any longer. So your brand may have to speak to that. Say, look, that's the old me. The new me doesn't do that anymore. And my new brand needs to reflect that. And once again, many of the things that I talk about on this show are things that are personal to me. I mean, I'm going through that right now. I've been going through it for the past 5, 6, 7 years. I'm attracting people that like the way I was when I started my company 30 years ago. When I was able to hold everybody's hand, and I still do some hand holding, but it's usually for the clients that have been with me for 10, 15, 20 years. But I can't do that for everybody walking off the street. That's why I keep telling myself I'm not looking for new clients. So I'm going to change that. It's not that I don't need new clients. I may just need to rebrand to attract a different type of client based on the way we do business now. Sometimes you have to rebrand because your message is confusing. You probably needed a rebrand when you first started, but now it's a good time to revisit it. People just don't know what the heck you do. If it takes too much explaining, you have a brand problem. I go to these networking events and somebody's trying to tell me what they do, what kind of business they're in. My eyes glaze over because they confuse me. a strong brand at least minimizes that. I mean, if it's a complicated area that you're in, sometimes it's just the way it is, but branding will help you in that area. Sometimes your sales at the bottom is just falling out of your sales, and you're looking for reasons to get back on track. Sometimes the new brand is the antidote, is just what you need. You need to let people know this is your company is new, you're different. That company where the sales fell out is no longer there. There's a new sheriff in town. So you're working harder, but things aren't going up. It may be time to rebrand. Now, if your brand does not reflect the quality of service that you offer, that could be problematic. You're like service oriented up and down. Nobody gives you better service. Nobody provides better service than you. If that's the case, your brand needs to reflect that. Has your work improved? You have a new systems in place, new technology, faster service, guarantees. If that's the case and it was not reflected in your previous brand, it's time to rebrand. And I'll tell you, this happens sometimes. You just get disconnected from your old brand. You're not proud of it anymore. You know this is a problem when you kind of pause before you give somebody your website. You know what I'm talking about? You say, well, you start having to explain, well, we're still working on that website and it's going to be ready in 2029. Or you give them a business card and you scratching stuff out on it, and it's time to rebrand. When you're embarrassed of your materials, your literature, your website, it doesn't reflect who you are anymore. It's time to rebrand. Another thing to consider if your competition is outpacing you. I mean, they're looking at you in that rearview mirror. It's like that old Gatewood back there. He's not keeping up with me. I'm going to leave him in the dust. And you're not doing anything about it. You should be leaving some other people in the dust. And if your competition is getting the jump on you, and you're at wit's end about what to do about it, consider rebranding. You're doing things differently. And you need to let people know that. And your brand is a good way to do that. Now I'm going to delve on this last one a few minutes. I'm going to get deep on this one. And that is, in the era of AI, your brand might be the only thing that can save your business. I want you to marinate on that for a minute, because this is serious. Matter of fact, this past couple of days ago, I've been certified in artificial intelligence as an agent designer, AI engineer, practitioner, whatever you want to call it. And there's some scary stuff out here. I'm telling you. You need to listen. You need to pay attention. Now, you might not be able to become an AI expert, but you don't have to. You need to be good at what you do and do the things that AI cannot. Listen to me again. You do not have to become the biggest and the baddest at AI, but you have to be able to do what AI cannot. And in some cases, that is the only way your company is going to survive in this new era in which we live. So I'm going to let you marinate on that for a second as I take a break. So hang on for a minute. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're on the first Marketing Pulpit show of the year, 2026. Wishing everyone a happy new year. Hope your holiday was fantastic. We're talking about signs that it may be time to rebrand your business. And in the second half of the show, we're going to talk about why in the era of AI, your brand may be the best defense to surviving in this era. So don't go anywhere. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're going to be back in a minute, so hang on there. I want to say thank you to the people tuning in. I see Jay. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year to you. I see people on Facebook. I see some people on YouTube, Instagram. Wherever you are tuning in, thank you for tuning in. This is the Marketing Pulpit show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web and Digital. We're adding AI to our services to better serve our small business community. So if you're just not sure of how it works, you need a free consultation on how it may help your company, just go to gatewoodmarketing.com and just pop your, we give everybody a free consultation if you just want to do a little tire kicking and water testing. I also teach adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College, where I teach marketing strategies. I teach digital marketing. I teach public relations, networking, social media strategies. I'm also in the government space on the state and local level. Written a couple of books. So this business development is my cause célèbre, my raison d'être, my reason for being. And I just keep piling on the tools to make sure that we can serve this small business community. And I'm telling you, in this era of AI, you're going to need some help. You don't have to get it from me. I'm just telling you. If you are a small business, your business has always been at risk. Let me just say that first of all. Your chances of success are slim to begin with. But there's a shipping away that has been accelerated with AI. And like I said, as a certified AI, a person who's certified in AI, I've had a chance to look under the hood. And it's pretty jarring, the thing that this technology can do. It could literally put you out of business overnight. Now, a good idea is to embrace it to some degree, at least understand how it works. And there are many things you can do to make your job and your company more efficient and effective by using AI. But for the people who are self-employed, who are small business owners, what can you do to put up some type of barrier or firewall to keep the enemy at the gates? Because AI is making your regular skills cheaper, faster, and more effective and accessible than ever before. That's a fact. What used to take teams to do, a group of folks now, just take the right AI agent. And an agent is just a program that does certain things. Things that used to be rare and used to impress people, not anymore. People are not impressed. It's hard to impress somebody in this era of AI with your skills alone, because there's probably some AI agent that can do it faster and better. So the things that you thought were a differentiator in the past, many of those things are not. But there's hope. There are some things that AI cannot replace. And this is what you must embrace. AI cannot replace trust. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Matter of fact, many people don't trust AI at all. Sure, AI can produce content, but it can't produce credibility. And you can. People don't buy from algorithms. They buy from sources that they can trust. And you can be that trust. So think about your brand again. Let's take this thing back. We're talking about building rebranding in 2026. Build trust as a layer, as a component of your new brand. What else can AI not replace? AI cannot replace that emotional connection. AI will give you the answer, but your brand can deliver the belief, the identity, the sense of belonging. Customers stay loyal because of the way you make them feel. So think back over the people that you're working with now. Believe me, many of them have Chat GPT. They have Perplexity. They have all these different tools out here. But what they don't get from those tools is the trust and that emotional connection that you can deliver. Now, once again, I'm speaking from experience here. I have a lot of clients. Matter of fact, I encourage them to go ahead and get on AI. Shoot. But they go to AI and they'll call me back before they've gotten through prompting. AI told me to do this, but and they don't come right out and say it some of the time, but they're like, I don't trust it. I need somebody I can trust. Because AI is going to write a book on every question you have. That's another problem with AI. It just gives you TMI. You don't need all that information. You need something that you can believe in and trust with the right information. But you don't need a book every time you have a 1-minute question. Now, another thing that AI is not going to give you, even though it's getting close, perspective and point of view. Now, I must admit, there's some agents out there that will give you perspective. You put a certain browser extension on, you go to a certain website, you tell that agent, give me, that person is like, they can do a perspective on what I'm saying today. It can turn around, well, look at it from this angle. Yeah, AI can do that too. But it's going to be more reliable and trustworthy coming from a person like yourself than some robot. AI gives you information, your brand takes a stand. Okay. Another thing AI can't do is your story. You have a story that you have built up over the years. It has many chapters and layers and components. And no AI tool can do that. I know for a fact my story has closed many deals. This country boy, son of a sharecropper, started his first company at the age of 13, shining shoes. Went to college on a music scholarship. Turned down law school to go into the business arena to help small companies. Worked in corporate America for 30 years before starting his own company, bringing those skills over to the small business community. Continued to build his tools to help companies by bringing in social media and web development, now artificial intelligence. And if I must say so, that's a pretty compelling story. Pat myself on the back. Well, you have a story too. And that story is part of your brand. AI can't do that. Consistency wins in the end. Over time, consistency is going to win. That is something you can deliver. So let's look at this. We're talking about brands. And I felt compelled to talk about this today after I came out of this AI certification. I said, man, these small companies got a problem out here. I need to give them something they can, at least one weapon they can start with right away. And what better time than the first of the year when many people think about rebranding. So we're talking about in this era of AI, why we talked about some of the signs that it's time to rebrand. Now we're talking about, we took one of those reasons because AI might make your business obsolete if you don't take some action and do the thing that AI is unable to, or at least not as well as you can do it. And that is building trust, building an emotional connection with your clients, giving them a perspective that's unique and yours based on experience, your ability to tell a compelling story, and you're being consistent over time. You take these 5 elements and wrap your brand around them, or wrap them around your brand. Now, why some weak brands are going to continue to struggle? Because if you're basing your business model on price, you're going to lose in the AI fight. I'm just going to tell you. Nobody wants your quote now for $5,000 for something AI can do in a couple of minutes. Unless your brand tells them they need to trust you and not AI. We're going to see a reduction in loyalty in 2026. They're going to give you the nice story about how it's been good working with you, Gatewood. They're not even going to tell you it's AI. They're going to tell you, well, my kid just graduated from school. I'm going to give him a chance. They're going to tell you they're cutting down their budget. Many people won't exactly tell you that AI is the reason they're getting rid of you. I'm just telling you that in many cases that is the case. But if you're building your current model on price and speed, you are heading down the road to ruin. Let me just repeat that. If your current model is based on your fast ability to deliver and your great price, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If that's you, it's time to rebrand. So how does a strong brand thrive in this AI economy? They stand for something. They're not trying to be everything to everybody. They find something they're great in. They build trust and confidence around it. And now they can go out and price it and get their money without saying I can deliver it fast and cheap. A strong brand in this AI economy has to be able to communicate. Be authentic in your communication. I'm gonna tell you, the AI has not affected me, has impacted me as much as it has some, because I've been doing these things as part of my DNA as long as I've been in business. Man, a lot of service that I offer, and AI can do it just like that. And that's going to have many people trembling in their boots. But I talked about one of the reasons we talked about earlier, that you can't get every customer is not going to be a good customer. When you've been doing this for a long period of time, those people that aren't your customer, they're just going to fall off. They're going to go by the wayside. Now, another thing you have to do in this AI economy, don't just build customers, build a community of clients, prospects, stakeholders, and they will lift you up. They will hold you up much better than depending on some of these other things. The other way that people are going to survive in this AI economy, the ones who are making it, they are using AI as a tool. They're doing it strategically. So the strong brands, they're not going to fight AI, because that's a fight that's going to be hard to win on face-to-face on things like speed and price. And but if you can't win them, join them. Use AI to amplify your voice, amplify your skills, amplify your trust, amplify your communication, not replace it. And the last thing I'm going to say is that the people that are going to succeed in this AI economy, they lead with value. They lead with value. Yes, there's technology, there's AI, but are you delivering value to your clients? In this AI economy, what you do can be replicated. Who you are cannot. Remember that. You've got to take a hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you? What services are you delivering? What value are you delivering? What am I doing that AI cannot replicate? I'm gonna tell you right now, AI can't be me. It just cannot. You have to have that same confidence. AI cannot duplicate who you are. When I was in class the other day, getting my certification, we had to write a program, what we call agent. So get used to that terminology. An agent is the application or the model that does these phenomenal things. So one of the assignment was to write an agent that can really replace yourself. So just upload a picture of yourself, and we could write an agent that can make that picture do just about anything that we can do. It was scary. I'm just going to tell you. I had me brain surgery and riding horses and jumping out of an airplane. But those things weren't me. I'm the business guy, the small business advocate who will take your phone call that you can call even though we haven't even talked about money. I will start looking at the problem before money even enters the conversation. I will say, can I help you? If I can help you, let me take a look at it. If it's going to cost you any money, we'll talk about it. But right now, let me just see if it's something I can help you with. I'm the guy that can relate to just about everything you've gone through in business. The funding, the personnel, whether to hire somebody as a 1099 or a W-2, getting funds, competition. Yeah, hey, I can get you that, but do you really trust it? I'm just giving you the roadmap. So there's two confluencing factors there that bring this conversation to me. One was mine going through this AI certification, and this being the first week of the new year. I could have saved this sermon to March. I can tell you, many of you all may not be here in March as business owners if you don't start making some corrections right now. Adjustments. I've looked into the future, and it is unnerving. So let's wrap this up, put a bow on this thing. How to rebrand without being overwhelmed. Okay, first of all, be clear before you start creating. Know where you're trying to go, okay? Brand strategy is not just about logos and things like that. You need some strategy and clarity on what that logo is going to represent, the message you're trying to convey. We talked about that, okay? Define your positioning, who you serve, what problems you're solving, and why you're different, okay? And sometimes you can just refresh. You don't have to replace. Yes, somebody's going to come along and say, hey, let me rebrand you. Let me give you a brand new logo and a brand new website and throw away all your materials. That might not be necessary in every case. Not if you're really, really bad. You really never took the steps in the beginning. You may have been misbranded from day one. But let's just say you've had success. Sometimes it's just a matter of refreshing, brighten up the colors, making more cutting edge, focus on value and trust. Okay. And look at the core things that people are going to see first. Let's start with your website. Look at your social media bios. Go to LinkedIn. You got all these old videos on there from done on a Super 8 video camera. And then let's roll it out with confidence. Stick that chest out. Put your dukes up. Say, come on, AI. I got one for you. Rebranding is not just about looking better. That's going to happen too. It's about communicating better, attracting better clients. It's about positioning and getting yourself ready for that next level of growth. So I'm telling you today, you heard it right here on the Marketing Pulpit. Rebranding. Add that to your to-do list in 2026. That's why I'm leading with this. Okay. All right. Thanks again. I plan to see many of you all in 2026. Like I said, go ahead and take advantage of that free consultation. Go to gatewoodmarketing.com. There's a button on the right top. I'll give you 15 minutes. Let's talk about what you're trying to do. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I came into 2026 with a full plate of clients. And so I'm going to be calling on some of my subcontractors and people that have worked with over years to get some of this work done. So let me tell you, folks, people are still spending money on humans, but it's on humans they can trust. And so my call to action for you is to build that trust, work on ways to establish that trust, and convince people that AI has nothing on you. That's going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back next week. If you're coming out to the BLE First Friday, we're not having it today. We're going to move it back because of the holiday to next week. That's going to be January 9th. I'll be there. We're going to talk about vision. We're going to create vision boards. We're going to have that delicious food. Miss Bernadette Clay is going to be there. She's a great business owner and model and mentor and certified tax person. Great people show up at these events, and we can all learn some perspective and get ideas from these great business minds. So come on out next Friday on January 9th. I'll be there as usual. I look forward to seeing you there. Let's get some vision going in 2029. And I'm going to keep this going into 2026. Did I say 2029? Now I'm ahead. Let's keep this going in 2026. If you want to be successful, you still have to do these three things. Do the right thing. Do it at the right time. Do it with the right brand. I'm going to add one. And you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.
Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious